It is a proven fact that your metabolism will slow down if you eat a low-calorie diet. So you might find it surprising to learn that eating nothing at all will keep your metabolism strong.
Who knew?
So how can that be, right? Well, we are going to discuss in this video how fasting keeps your metabolism strong, and we're going to utilize our guinea pig to get started. So I call you a guinea pig because
I test everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm a willing lab rat.
There you go.
I guess.
Yeah, and if you've been following our channel, you know that Keith is pushing down toward a new low goal after losing 80 pounds initially. So we always give progress, so go ahead and give progress.
Right, so I maintained my 80-pound loss for a little over a year and 3 months or something like that, and decided to see if it was possible to push lower using the same methods that I was using before, or if it was going to be, because I'd been maintained for so long, if it was going to be difficult. It did turn out to be difficult. And I had gotten into some bad habits. If you've watched our videos, I talked about that a little bit, but I was basically letting the scale dictate, what I was doing. And in a few days before I would do my weekly weigh-in, if I didn't feel like I was losing, I would just stop eating, for different periods of time, 36 hours, 40 hours. They were just bad habits because I was focused more on the scale than what I was doing. And I was fasting, doing kind of a shorter, extended fast, but shorter than like a long fast. And I would consider myself at that point a fasting hobbyist.
Okay.
Because I really didn't plan it. It was just kind of a more reactive thing. So now I've become more of a fasting enthusiast. So
right. So give your quick progress report, and then we'll.
Right. So I am starting. This is just before New Year's holiday. I am at 171. So that is. So I've been able to maintain.
Okay. I think what the big takeaway of what he just said there was that you were looking at fasting almost a little bit as a punishment for I'm not getting the progress.
Punitive, yes.
And we've reframed that for
Yes.
sure. And one of the ways we have done that has certainly been with the use of the book, The Complete Guide to Fasting, which is Jimmy Moore and Dr. Jason Fung's book. And in that book, they do a great job of explaining why your metabolism actually stays strong when you don't eat anything at all. And the key to it all is insulin. So basically, we've talked about insulin many times on our channel, but insulin is the fat-storing hormone. So when insulin is present or high, you are making fat. You are storing food energy. Right. When insulin is low, you are able to release that energy, so your body can now keep eating, the food that you've had stored on your body. The reason that fasting will keep your metabolism strong, whereas a low-calorie diet will not, in order to understand that, we have to go back a little bit and understand the old model of losing weight, which was calories in, calories out. So we used to think that a calorie was just a calorie, right? You have a piece of cake that has 100 calories in it. You have an apple that has 100 calories in it. Same thing. They all go into one collective bucket in our body.
But that's not true.
That's not. And then, of course, you exercise and comes out, and so that simple equation, right? You eat less, you move more, and you've lost weight. Well, so that's the old way of my lovely lab assistant here of losing weight. What we now know is that when you eat food, it goes into storage in two different places, right? So it goes into either glycogen storage or it gets converted to fat and gets stored. So this is nice and easy storage because glycogen is basically just glucose molecules linked together. The problem with glycogen storage is that it's small, right? So you can only count, I think it's like 2,000 calories.
About a day's worth.
Yeah, yep. Of calories can be stored in your body as glycogen.
They're usable. Usable
glycogen, right? So some in your muscles you're not going to use. Fat, on the other hand, is unlimited, right? You need more storage, you just make more. Problem is that this is much harder to access. And so this is kind of the understanding to take hold of. When you are eating throughout the day, so you're not fasting, right? You're eating every few hours. You are constantly feeding this glycogen storage. And you're also continually bumping up your insulin. So because of that, your body always has this little pocket of energy available to it, but it cannot access all of this stored fat energy because you're keeping your insulin high.
Right.
And because of that, if you're eating, even if you're eating like 500, 600 calories a day, but you're spacing that out throughout the day, you're constantly putting more glycogen in and you're blocking fat loss. Your body says, hey, this is all the energy I have access to. So I have to slow down my metabolism because this is all I've got. Even though you could be carrying around hundreds of thousands of calories,
Right.
your body does not see it.
Right. So if you're eating 500 calories a day, your body and you're eating it, throughout the day, your body is not able to access the fat stored. It's like this is cash in your pocket, this is cash in the bank, and it's a holiday and the bank's closed.
Right.
So it's going to say, well, if you're only taking in 500 calories, I'm only going to burn 500 calories.
Exactly. So how does fasting then change that whole equation?
Well, that is where insulin comes in.
Right.
Right? So fasting is going to, obviously you're not taking in anything, water, whatever, but nothing caloric, right?
Right.
So what happens is that your insulin then just drops and drops and drops because there's no glucose coming in. And that is going to allow your body to, then it will actually have to deplete glycogen first because it's easy. But once that's gone, it can start dipping into the fat reserves.
Right. And now your body says, we've got an endless supply of energy here because insulin is so low and glycogen is low. So when you're fasting, your body looks at its energy and says, we have plenty because insulin is low and it can access this fat.
Right. And accessing fat has some metabolic effect to it, which is part of why your metabolism would stay high too. It takes energy. Your body kind of has to keep revving up to be able to access that.
Right. And also it doesn't notice a shortage. So
Right.
it says, hey, let's keep it going strong.
Right.
So with that knowledge, we have been talking about strategies for Keith to get down to his goal, and you are about to embark on your first extended fast.
Yeah. Okay, so then this is it, really.
Okay.
Okay? I mean, whatever is at the end of this, that's where I'm going to call it quits, okay?
Okay.
But a lot of people comment, it's like, look, you shouldn't be trying to push down any further. But that's just the nature of who I am. But I get it. This has been difficult. So this is going to be it, where I'm going to do a 10-day fast.
Okay.
Okay? 10 days.
Okay.
I'm still going to have some coffee in the morning. I'm going to have water, and I'm going to have bone broth so that I can make sure that I'm getting my electrolytes and that kind of thing. And I am going to track, obviously, my weight, do my body composition at the beginning and the end of the 10 days. I'm going to track glucose and ketones, AM, noon, and PM. So we'll be able to chart that, see what's going on over the 10 days. And we'll kind of see what happens. And I think part of the problem was when I was doing these 2 or 3 day fasts before in a panic, I was always just getting to that point where, my body's like pulling some protein, for gluconeogenesis and never pushing past that. So I'm always getting to maybe the kind of the more negative part of a fast, never getting to the positive part of the fast.
Right. And so maybe we want to, because I'm sure this question is going to come up. Don't you lose muscle when you're fasting? Do you want to take that?
You are going to lose some lean tissue. That doesn't necessarily mean that it is muscle. You will lose some water from the interstitial spaces of the fat that you're taking out. You're going to lose some water just in general from the glycogen that's no longer there that holds water. But also, some of this protein, quote unquote, that you're burning can come from this loose skin. And I've had that question a number of times.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of consensus in the fasting community that if you want to get rid of your loose skin after you've lost a lot of weight, these extended fasts may be the way to do that.
Yeah, yeah. And I would just go off of what they talked about in this book. So if you would like to know a little bit more about if your body will use up protein, this is a great reference. But basically, what they state is in the first day to day and a half, you're burning through glycogen storage. So you're not, you don't have to pull protein out.
Right.
But after that, 36 to 48 hours, it was a short window, your body will utilize protein, or more specifically amino acids, to make glucose in the liver, gluconeogenesis. But that is a short-lived period because you're keeping your insulin low. So as you continue your fast, your body can now pull fat out and burn that.
You've gotten rid of that.
Yep. And now these fat molecules, they have a glycerol backbone that can be turned into glucose in the liver. So there's no more need after a certain couple of days to burn muscle. And that is why lean muscle is protected on a fast.
An extended fast, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Seems illogical, but that is how we understand it.
And we will look at my results after
Yeah.
10 days and just see what has happened. I
Yeah.
mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. All right, so stay tuned. This is uncharted territory, and we're glad to have you guys along with us. Thanks so much for your support, and we will see you back here next week with a progress report.
Yep, we'll catch you up on how I'm feeling.
Yeah. So with that,
I like your little bowls here, by the way.
thank you very much. I was surprised it took you this long to make fun of me.